On January 1st, 1870, 151 years ago, the first issue of a weekly magazine, The Index, was published, promoting what it called free religion, a theological concept that has much in common with the humanist movement that developed soon after. The Index originated in Toledo and had as its editor Francis Ellingwood Abbott, recently arrived as the minister of an ancestor congregation to our First Unitarian Church of Toledo, Ohio. His congregation was the First Independent Society of Toledo, and there are stories about that name and other congregation names, as well as stories of Abbott and other ministers, which we'll explore in this index. I'm TK Barger, the senior minister of today's Toledo Unitarians, and I'm the editor of this new index, which is not printed but comes to you as a podcast and video blog. I speak to you today from my home office in Toledo as we've made adjustments to our regular ways because of the COVID 19 pandemic. This is an index preview. Much as I'd like to have launched our new index full fledged on the 151st anniversary, the ways of this world mean we'll have to take our time. It's going to start with occasional publication as it develops, so don't expect a weekly yet, but do watch for it, and I hope you'll look for the index and stay with us. There will be ties in this Index 151 to the original index, and here we have a picture of the first page of the original. We'll be looking in Abbott's index, especially its early years in Toledo before it and he moved to Boston and Cambridge, Massachusetts. And we'll also seek out supporting materials for the stories of Abbott and the index. In this index, we'll also have content about the more than 150 years of Unitarianism, Universalism, Unitarian Universalism, humanism, free thought, and liberal religion in Toledo and Northwest Ohio. I appreciate and acknowledge the local history collection of the Toledo Lucas County Public Library, which has those issues of the index in its collection, along with files of First Unitarian Toledo's history. Besides our Index 151 tie to the original through looking at history related to the Toledo Unitarians and including items relevant to religious liberalism, the index will cover many other topics, sometimes with no obvious tie to free religion, except the concept that religion can explore anything and everything. The index will include my own writing from sermons, sometimes as preached and other times adapted for this forum, and from essays I'll write just for the index. This index gives me the opportunity to share interests outside of church, what appeals to me at the time. In a way, the index will merge the different tracks of my background as a minister and preacher, a journalist and columnist, and a librarian and researcher with interests ranging from popular culture to philosophy, not that those are mutually exclusive. I hope we'll have original material from others too, for the index will be based at First Unitarian Church of Toledo, and I hope will be a place where its members can contribute. The first 6 issues of the original index had on the first page 50 affirmations. Francis Ellingwood Abbott wrote, "They express the individual convictions of the editor and constitute the general platform of the index so far as its editorial department is concerned. But they will compromise no contributor to these columns in which each writer will speak for himself or herself alone. The index nails its flag to the mast." It's appropriate to give in this preview what I'm calling issue 0 of the index, some of those affirmations. Times have changed in the last 151 years, you might realize, and there's less need to compare and contrast free religion with Christianity and Protestantism. So I have excerpted and adapted Frank Abbott's affirmations to give these 20 points, affirmations with which I can agree. Religion is people's effort to perfect themselves. The root of religion is universal human nature. Historical religions are all one in virtue of this one common root. Historical religions are all different in virtue of their different historical origin and development. Every historical religion has thus two distinct elements, one universal or spiritual, and the other spiritual or historical. The universal element is the same in all historical religions. The special element is peculiar in each of them. The universal and the special elements are equally essential to the existence of a historical religion. The great faith or moving power of free religion is faith in people as progressive beings. The great ideal end of free religion is the perfection or complete development of humankind, humanity serving the individual serving humanity. The great practical means of free religion is the integral, continuous, and universal education of humankind. The great law of free religion is the still small voice of the private soul. The great peace of free religion is spiritual oneness with the infinite. The great organic constitution of free religion is the universal conscience and reason of humankind. The cornerstone of free religion is grounding in human nature. The social bond of free religion is universal and free. It proclaims the great community of humanity without limit or bound. The practical work of free religion is to humanize the world, to make the individual nobler here and now, and to convert humankind into a vast cooperative union devoted to universal ends. The spiritual ideal of free religion is the free development of self and the harmonious education of all its powers to the highest possible degree. The essential spirit of free religion is that of self respect and free self devotion to great ideas. The noblest fruit of free religion is a self sacrificing love of humankind for people's own sake. Free religion is the faith of the soul's maturity. The gradual growth of humankind into free religion carries the great hopes of the spiritual perfection of the individual and the spiritual unity of the people. Journey with us in our tellings, our writing and video of the index. Issue 1 will premiere soon. Blessings and Happy New Year 2021.